welcome to Unprofessional Engineering. My name is James.
And you got Luke.
Luke, fun fact, we are now the most popular engineering podcast hosted by people named James and Luke in the Pittsburgh area.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty big feat.
Yeah, I thought so too. And it's because of great topics like what we're doing today.
Yeah, I feel this is going to be a good one because this one hits home because as we were doing our research, so much of this stuff, I was like, this is amazing. And then a couple years later, it wasn't so much.
Yeah, and that is what I'm calling amazingly obsolete technology.
A little play on words.
Yeah, you like that?
See what you did there.
Yeah, so basically stuff that, like you said, we thought we'd never be able to live without, was going to be amazing forever, and it pretty much isn't anymore.
Well, to give all of these things a little bit of a fair break, I feel like at the time, they were amazing.
They probably were, yep.
So, just saying.
All right, so we're going to do this in a top 10 style like we've done in the past. Yeah. It's been a while since we've made a top 10 list.
Yep, I agree.
All right, sounds good. So do you want to start?
Yeah, I will start. Right. So
Number 10.
Number 10. Oh, we're doing that way? 10,
yeah,
okay.
The worst.
Okay.
Well, not the worst, like...
Okay, so for me, and this one I really did think was going to have some legs, encyclopedias.
Encyclopedias,
so,
okay.
So this is a mix of engineering and like resources, I'll say. So I remember being a little kid, my parents bought from a door-to-door salesman the Encyclopedia Britannica, and I remember we had all the volumes there on this huge shelf in our living room, and I would just sit there and flip through the encyclopedia over and over and over again. And I just thought they were the most amazing books, like, ever.
Wow. I never did that.
Your parents didn't have, your parents were teachers.
They
didn't
them,
have the
but I didn't go through them thinking they were amazing.
I love the encyclopedia.
I mean, I'm basically allergic to books, though, so they're awful. So, funny, you have that as 10.
Okay.
I kind of lumped it together with printed media, which was my number 1.
Wow, so you and I are...
Printed media is like the most obsolete thing ever. Because, you know, who reads anymore? Reading books is stupid, so why would you do it?
Well,
Also, like you said, the encyclopedia, gone. The phone book, gone.
You're killing...
Dictionaries, gone.
You gotta stop, you're killing all my stuff.
Oh, those are all...
Well, not all of those. Those aren't my top 10.
But they're all printed media. Even something like the printing press, who Gutenberg invented, which is
Steve Gutenberg?
Cool. Steve Gutenberg
From
did.
Short Circuit?
Yeah, from Short Circuit.
Okay.
With help of Johnny Five.
Nice.
Yeah. So he invented the printing press, and it basically might as well not even exist anymore.
Yeah, but okay.
Who reads?
Nobody. So one thing I will say is I feel like all of these technologies and all of these things, in some sense, and I'm going to have a really specific example of this, are making somewhat of like a resurgence with hipsters.
Hipsters are stupid too. I'm just grumpy today, apparently.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Okay, you're number 10. This is going to take us forever.
Okay, number 10 for me, since that was my number 1, is the CRT tube. So the cathode ray tube. So like the CRT television. Pretty awesome. I don't know about you, but I actually still have one. It's like this giant 65-inch TV.
Yeah.
And it probably weighs 10 million pounds compared to my other TVs that are itty bitty bitty.
And the best part of these things is you can't throw them out.
No, yeah.
There's like one day a year, there's like one place in Pittsburgh you can take your TVs to, and my guess is they throw them in the exact same landfills.
Yeah, I assume.
Like they don't disassemble them.
They're like, yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, I have 2 at one of my rental properties just sitting in the basement because I have no place to put them.
Oh, at one of my rental properties. So a little bit of info on the CRT, invented by German physicist Carl with a K Braun.
Okay.
Known as the Braun tube in 1897.
The Braun tube.
Pretty cool, right? In 25, the inventor who made the first TV using them, 1925. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of information on how the cathode ray tubes work and how it... I mean, it's just too much information.
Why don't we save that for like another episode?
Like, it could be a whole episode on how these televisions work.
And we could maybe do an episode on like just like displays and all kinds of stuff.
I like it.
Like how they've migrated. Yeah, I like that. We'll do a whole thing on that.
This idea, and then what spawned into this whole episode idea, is actually from our friend Adam at CAD Noobs.
Nice.
So thanks, Adam.
Yes.
There's your CRT.
Okay, so
Go. What are you doing?
what am I at? We done?
You're up. Yeah.
Okay,
go
I'm
ahead.
up. So
Number 9.
so this is my number 9. I have to go with the where is it? Oh, pagers.
Pagers. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah. So again, I think this may have been a little bit before your time because basically you were in diapers when I was.
Well, this is true. You're
in
an
high
old
school.
man. Yes.
But I remember everybody had a beeper, pager, whatever you want to
Really?
call it. Like everybody had one
Wow.
because very rarely did you have a phone, which made no sense because you had to pay for a subscription, for the
your beeper
pager.
thing, yeah.
You had to pay a monthly fee
Is
for
a
the
beeper
pager.
and a pager the same
Yeah,
thing?
yeah,
Okay.
basically. And basically, you would get a page with a phone number. There'd be no name. You'd have to know what the phone number was if you don't know how they work.
Right.
So it would be 412 blah blah blah, and I knew that was my mom, so I'd have to go to a pay phone, or if I was at someone's house, I'd then have to call them, and it was never anything important.
So that's back when you actually knew people's phone numbers.
Yeah, now I don't even know my own phone number.
I know my cell number, which does me no good, and I know my parents' house phone number.
Okay.
And I think those are the only phone numbers that I still remember. Nope, I remember one of my good friends' parents' house numbers right now still.
I remember where I grew up in grade school.
Wow, that's good.
7056 were the last 4, and I don't want to say the first ones
Yeah, probably.
because I don't know whose number it
Our
is.
crowd will just be calling
Yeah.
that number. All right, number 9 for me.
Yes.
I'm putting on watches. I think watches are obsolete.
Like all watches?
Who wears watches? I mean, sure, I have a Fitbit on.
But that's a watch.
But not really.
Okay.
It's tracking my steps and my heart rate. I'm not using it to tell time. You know
Okay.
why? Because I have a cell phone, so I don't need it.
Although I do have to admit, the thing I do like about a watch is every time I want to know the time on my cell phone, I find myself, I got to grab my phone and hit it, where if I might do a Fitbit or an Apple Watch at some point. Even though I poo-pooed them
You did.
a couple episodes ago.
Remember
But
this.
it's just so nice. You just lift your wrist up and you can see the time or whatever. Because it is a pain. Because your phone is never in your hand when you want to know what time it is.
You have to pick up a phone is your complaint.
Yeah, but if I could just go like that, come on.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, we did a whole episode about watches and how they work, so I don't want to really give any info
Yeah.
on it. Just go listen to that, and then you'll be like,
But
wow, watches
It's
suck.
a pretty big evolution. If you think about mechanical timepieces to basically Inspector Gadget, you can make telephone calls on the Apple III watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pretty
They've
impressive.
really come a long way, but I think they're obsolete.
You don't think, but do you think people wearing anything is obsolete, or do you think it has to be like a Fitbit or a smartwatch?
I think it has to be like that.
But something that just tells time obsolete.
Your Rolex, no longer useful.
You don't think rich, snobby people are still going to be like,
Of course they're going to have them.
Okay.
I just think they serve no purpose.
Because
now.
aren't you a rich, snobby person
I
with
am.
a couple really nice watches?
This is neither here nor there.
Okay,
Landlord,
okay,
come on.
just making sure we're all on the same
Luke's
page.
number 8 before we take a break.
My number 8 is going to be answering machines.
Answering machines, okay.
Was this even on your list?
It might have had like an honorable mention.
Yeah.
I felt like when I was thinking, I thought about answering machines because we probably Googled the same lists. But anyways.
I'm sure we did.
I still sort of have an answering machine on my cell phone, right? My voicemail.
Yeah, but I'm talking like
The actual box that was like separate from the phone and
yeah.
everything.
I think there's a couple reasons why they don't exist anymore. Number one, they used to be tapes, right? And then they moved to
Not in my time, but
well, yeah.
I'm told that.
They used to be little cassettes, and then it moved to you would buy a phone and it would have a built-in answering machine. Like the phone I have downstairs in my kitchen has a built-in answering machine. But the thing is, no one ever leaves messages except for telemarketers and
Right.
people asking for money.
Right.
And so, I mean, I don't even know if I have a message on there. I can't remember the last time I checked it. I probably got 1,000 messages on
Probably.
it. It's been beeping like crazy. So,
Speaking of people asking for money,
Yes.
let's take a break for a word from our sponsor.
who do we got this week?
Well,
Not Rolex, because
Not
they can't
Rolex.
afford it anymore because they're going out of
they're
business.
They're obsolete.
Yep.
Right? Actually, we do not have any, but we do have a number of shout outs that I wanted to
Nice.
give. Since I ignored my email for a while. We have William B, who's a new listener
Good
and
old
subscriber.
Willie, good old Willie B.
Mallory P, who I said it's nice that my mom isn't the only one emailing, and she said, Mallory? That must be a she, right?
I would think of Mallory.
Your mom actually paid me to write this, so that was that was pretty awesome.
Good burn, good burn.
Jason P, another shout out. Met him at Autodesk University. Chris C wrote in from our webpage. Works at Briggs and Stratton.
We have a webpage.
We do have a webpage, unprofessionalengineering.com.
Okay, I knew that.
But an actual engineer writing in.
I love that. Briggs and Stratton. Every motor I have in my house that's not in my vehicle,
Briggs
the
and
pressure
Stratton.
washer, my lawnmower, Briggs and Stratton.
There we go.
Good stuff.
And then Andrew P, he actually threw in a "you're the worst" in the email. So it's starting to trend. This is
It
good.
is.
And lastly, of course, CAD noobs, who are no longer on my good side, Adam, but you know,
Okay.
maybe they
Little
are
backstory. So a couple weeks ago, Adam, our good friends at CAD Noob, sent us a crown cake, and James took it upon himself to eat the entire cake. Adam, feeling bad for the shenanigans that occurred, sent me something, and hopefully this is appropriate, Adam, because I'm opening this live. I'm going to look in before I show it to the camera.
We might need to edit this.
But Adam felt like he needed to send me something to make up for you stealing my cake. So let's see.
Looks like paper.
Totally nothing delicious. It's like taste or something. Yeah, he's helping me with my taxes.
I don't know what that even
Okay,
means.
so Adam's, I'm not sure. Adam's handwriting is worse than my handwriting. Just saying.
This is the guy who just sent you something. Now
I
you're
know.
Just criticizing
No.
all the time.
Oh, you know what we were talking about,
my
barbecue?
Gosh.
Oh, Tony.
Look at that.
I've seen this with a different brand, but I have been looking for some Creole seasoning. Thank you very much. And, oh my goodness, I was going to make jambalaya this weekend.
Now you really can.
Jambalaya seasoning.
Wow.
Adam, thank you very much. And I will not be sharing this with James.
Thanks a lot, man.
Sorry.
Thank you. That is a nice thing. Adam,
That's awesome.
You are a good person. I just do not like you anymore.
Way better than us.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
all right.
okay.
So enough of the shenanigans.
Move on.
Thanks everyone for writing in.
Perfect.
Moving on. How about James number 8? I guess
Go.
I'm up. Huh?
Yeah.
Typewriters.
Yeah.
Man, do you remember typewriters?
So I do.
I do. I remember my dad always typing on them, like making up his lesson plans for school, and they're just so ridiculous now to think that you have to sit there and type each one, and if you make a mistake, you have to like roll it back and use whiteout. So we could put whiteout in the same group. It's also obsolete.
Yeah, well, some typewriters were fancy, and they had the correction tape. You
yeah.
could hit the backspace, and it would actually, there's a band of whiteout tape that would actually put whiteout on it.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting. The concept for a typewriter dates back to 1714.
Have you seen the old school ones?
Super old, yeah.
Like the mechanical design of those was pretty impressive to be able to squeeze all those characters into, yeah, it was pretty impressive.
A decent one didn't really come out until like 1870 something, 73 or so. Okay. But the patent was filed back in 1714.
So an honorable mention to that one, word processors.
Word processors.
So do you know what a word processor is?
Is that like it's like if a computer and a typewriter made a baby?
It is exactly like
Right.
if a computer and a typewriter decided to get married and have a baby. So basically, you would do all the typing, and you could see in this little gray screen about that big the words you wrote. And after you were sure you wanted it, you would hit print, and then it would go through and actually print the.
That sounds
the
terrible.
paper. It was horrible. It was like the nice thing was for correcting, it was good. So
I don't know how people typed. But you know I'm a terrible speller.
Oh my goodness.
Just imagine if I didn't have Microsoft Word telling me everything I did wrong all the time.
What's the thing we use?
Grammarly.
Grammarly.
Shout out to Grammarly.
I'm not even paying for the pay version. I just have the free version. It just kind of does the correction. Amazing.
Yeah, it is really good.
So
I have mine set up so that it corrects everything I type on like Facebook and blogs.
So you have the
and
paid
everything.
version.
I do.
I
have
might
the
have
paid
to do
version.
that.
Yeah, shout out to
Maybe
Grammarly.
Grammarly
you
will
should
sponsor us.
You're not
Perfect.
obsolete.
No,
all
not
right,
at all.
Luke, you're number 7.
My number 7 is all physical media of any type.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Betamax, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, USB drives, floppy disks. There's like no reason to have any of this because number one, storage is basically what's ubiquitous. I think that.
Wow.
I don't know if that's.
Wow.
I may be using
I don't
that
even know
word-
what that means.
I might be using it totally wrong.
Okay.
But basically, there's unlimited storage in the cloud. Like I just saw an ad from Google. If you use the Google phone, it's unlimited pictures. Like I could take 1 billion pictures and they just got to deal with it storing it in the cloud.
Wow.
So storage, when was the last time you bought a DVD or rented a DVD? I mean, even like those red boxes you see in front of Walmarts, like nobody goes there unless they don't have the internet. And if they don't have the internet, they shouldn't be watching movies.
So I'm going to cut you off right there because it is a perfect lead into my number 7.
Shoot.
Blockbuster. I
Yeah.
just flat out called out
Those
Blockbuster.
poor guys.
I mean, think about the video stores and like I remember going there and being so excited to rent a video
Flip it
game
over,
or to get a
read it.
movie. Like it was awesome, and it was always VHS tapes when I got them, so kind of tying into
Yeah.
your storage and media.
So I do have to admit, I enjoyed the interaction that occurred with a store, like going there. It was like an event,
No.
and it was like a family thing, and you'd kind of, hey, what do you want? What do I want? Now it's just
Okay.
you're on your couch with a bowl of popcorn and an ice cream in the other hand, and you're just like, meh.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Well,
Because leaving the house is stupid, like reading books. I did want to give a shout out to Lone Blockbuster on Twitter. Have you seen this?
no.
It's a Twitter handle that claims to be the last Blockbuster, like tweeting from it, but all of the Blockbusters shut down in 2014.
okay.
But they post all these like really funny things, like, oh, for the Olympics, you think curling's like pretty cool? Wait until you see any movie ever, or something like that. So it's pretty cool.
I
Check
gotcha.
them out. Actually, the town next to where the wife grew up has a family video still. Do you
Okay.
remember family video?
I've
It's
seen a few
basically
of
like-
those.
Like a poor man's Blockbuster.
There
I think.
used to be one just not too far from my house, and it got turned into a used furniture store.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to all of them. So every time I see it, I'm just like really excited because they don't exist.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, Luke.
Number 6. My number 6 is going to be fax machines.
Fax machines. Okay, I don't agree, but go ahead.
What?
Fax machines? Like we still have one at the office.
But
if
what
we
have
had
you,
an
what have
office.
you ever used a fax machine for?
Faxing over my tax information to people, or faxing stuff when I was closing on my house. I would fax.
You don't
stuff
just
instead of dropping
like
it off.
scan it and send a digital copy,
I had to sign
or
it.
like take a picture.
I had to sign it. And
But
then
you could
fax
scan
in.
it.
Well, I didn't.
You could
do that.
sign it
I
and take a
faxed
picture
it.
and email it, or sign it and scan it on a scanner.
Okay, I guess maybe you're correct. It's rare that I say you're right, but now that you mention it,
Yeah,
maybe that's what I
Yeah,
actually did.
I can't imagine taking a sheet of paper, signing it, putting it in, dialing
And
a
you need
phone
like
number.
the cover note on
Yeah,
it.
if dialing a phone number and then all the funny noises that it
Love
makes,
the noises.
and then it prints the same thing on the other end. It's just I haven't used a fax machine in probably 15 years.
Okay, you're probably right. I'll give you credit for that for a change.
Nice, thanks,
Well
buddy.
done. Well done.
Appreciate that.
All right, number 6 for me, mail.
Yeah, you know what? I have
Physical
mail as
mail.
honorable mention. I do.
Do you?
I
Okay.
have that as honorable mention.
Let me tell you how obsolete it is.
Oh,
let
here we
me
go.
have you guess. No,
Okay.
no,
Okay,
you
I
can't
won't
look at my
cheat.
notes. All right. In just one day in the life of the U.S. Postal Service, average figures, how much revenue received in dollars?
Negative 1 million.
235.2 million.
One day?
Yep.
How's that obsolete then? That
Dollars.
seems-
Well, this is where I may have chosen poorly.
Okay.
Dollars paid to postal employees and benefits in a day.
2 million.
160 million.
Oh, I see the problem now.
Average number of mail pieces processed each minute.
55,000.
351,000.
This seems pretty relevant still.
Yeah.
I think you picked a whole bunch of, other than the revenue being a little off.
Yeah. Let's see. Tax dollars received for operating the postal service.
Oh, 7 billion.
$0. $0.
Even though they're a government organization, they're
All
not
those
funded by
stamps we buy,
taxpayers.
I guess, and everything else paying
That's why
for
stamps are an
shipment.
arm and a leg.
Yeah, they are.
So,
So anyways,
do you do any mail now? Do you have any bills that you physically
the
mail?
only mail that I send out is our stickers to our listeners.
we have one bill for some reason my wife and I haven't done electronically. I don't know why, but literally, I can't remember the last time I did a piece of mail. So
My wife likes to get the physical bill in the mail for some reason.
we still get the bill, but we pay it
Yeah,
electronically.
she pays electronically.
Yeah, we should probably go paperless. Save the
Save
planet.
world.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm still saying mail is obsolete because nobody wants it. Like if I get something in the mail, it's like a big surprise to me.
Yeah, like our stuff from Adam.
Exactly. All right, I'm still putting it on the list.
Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5, I am going to go with. I'm going to go with instant camera because we're going to do our engineering thing here after this one. So the Polaroid instant camera. It seemed like the most amazing thing at the time. You could point it at someone's face, take the picture. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to take your film out. And you instantly, after you waved it a few times. Did you ever have one you had to wave it to develop it faster? But I think instant cameras, and cameras in general that aren't digital, I think. So I'm going to kind of add to that. So instant camera specifically, but probably also any non-digital camera.
I have my number 4 cameras. All of them.
Yeah,
All of them.
because
And getting film developed.
You
Nobody
got
gets film
you got it
developed.
in your phone,
Yeah,
right?
why would you? They're all obsolete. Interesting enough. Fun fact for you. You shouldn't shake Polaroid pictures, actually.
Really?
Yes, it could harm the film. So thanks a lot, Outcast, for telling us to shake it like a Polaroid picture, which we should not do.
Okay.
But that was my number 4, so
Okay.
good job. Number 5 for me
For you?
is folding maps.
You know, I had that as low on my list, so we're actually in agreement on the folding maps.
And basically, like, I don't even know how to read a map. I know that's kind of embarrassing, but I
a little
don't.
bit.
And to go a step further, do you remember MapQuest?
So, funny story. Up until about a year ago, anytime my wife and I traveled somewhere,
You're so old.
not me, my wife would
I'm
go to
not calling her
MapQuest.
old.
She would go on MapQuest, or she would go to AAA and get a trip ticket. I know, she's going to be so mad I'm outing her. But
that's awful.
she would actually print them out where it does the turn by turn, or get you can still get trip tickets at AAA. And she would do that, and I would we'd get in the car, and I would yell at her. I'd be like, put that away. Punch it into the GPS. Put it into the phone. So
That's too funny. You're like my parents.
Yeah,
They have
it's
to
like-
get those. But I used to always use MapQuest. I never used a map. And
I
now I
use
don't even
MapQuest
do
a lot,
that.
too.
I just used my GBS.
GB.
It's an inside joke. Probably 4 people in the world would get it, but none of them listen.
Okay.
So anyways, yeah, the GPS has
Thank
really...
you for excluding me from that inside joke. I appreciate it.
Another side, I'll explain it later.
Okay.
Uber drivers. Have you ever talked to them about the GPS app they use?
Yeah, they hate it.
Everyone, they're
Absolutely
like, yeah, it
hate
had
it.
me like drive into the middle of the building or use the back door.
So I think
or
they all
be a
use
street off.
Waze. A lot of them use Waze, which
Yeah.
apparently does live traffic.
Yeah. So Uber, if you're listening, fix your app.
Yeah,
It's
fix your mapping app.
All right, number 4, Luke.
We gonna do that, or are we gonna do the?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
We need to take another break.
We
So
do need to take another break.
This week's Luke's terrible or great
Or
or meh kind of engineering.
And so I was just talking about the instant camera being
camera.
totally obsolete.
Absolutely.
Right? But this is I think a cool engineering thing or technology. I actually bought something called an HP sprocket. Shout out to HP, maybe they'll sponsor us. And the cool thing about this is what it does is you take a picture, and I'm acting like this is brand new. I'm sure this has been around for like 5 years.
Everybody's like, yeah, that's obsolete.
But basically, the problem with instant cameras was you never got a redo. You had to, do another picture, and someone like you would like not smile or your eyes would be closed. The cool thing with this is you take the pictures on your camera, and you pick the ones you want, and then you can add all kinds of filters to it and borders, and then you print it, and it's this little printer about
I've
that
seen
big,
those.
fits
Those
in
have
your
been
back
around a long
pocket.
time.
And it is the coolest thing. So we just celebrated my father-in-law's 80th birthday party.
Happy
And these are all
birthday.
old people. Yeah, happy birthday,
sure he
Bernie.
listens.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
No. And what we did was everybody, and these are all old people, right, who don't have phones or anything like that. So everybody got a picture with Bernie individually.
That's
And I
cool.
printed them and gave them to him because he'll probably be dead in a couple of years, and it's the last picture they can remember of him. I love him, but he's 80. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
80's
it's
80.
just the facts,
Yeah, it's just
right.
the facts. So th'll all have this picture of him.
That was very nice of you.
Yeah, but
You're a
I
thoughtful
thought it
guy.
was really cool. And my daughter, she's super excited about it because now she can take all kinds of pictures.
Because old stuff is cool again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
So I'm calling this a goodish invention.
Okay,
Like
a
I like
goodish
it. It's
invention.
fun.
It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of obsolete stuff, it's not on my list. But
Okay.
maybe it should be. According to our good friend and listener, Kylie Jenner? Kendall Jenner? One of the Jenners.
One of the
She's
Jenners is the listener?
basically a Kardashian, but
Okay,
not really.
okay.
Did you see she like tweeted out or something? Like, does anyone even use Snapchat anymore? And the stock price
Snapchat
just
went.
bombed. Like, that's so awesome.
Imagine having that kind of social power.
Right? I think we do, but
No, I
All
don't
right,
think we do.
number 4 for Luke. I did cameras for number 4. So what did you do?
For me, I'm gonna say GPSs that are not in your phone.
All right.
So I used to have one of those Garmin's, and I had a different version before that. But it's like it's in your phone, and when I see people with separate GPSs in their car, I want to put it in park, go out, and just smack it off of their windshield, and be like,
My parents have one
it's
of
like,
those.
come
and
on,
It cracks me up.
it's in your phone.
They don't have smartphones, so yeah,
Okay.
they're embarrassing and old. It's fine. Number 3 for me, I'm saying the steam engine.
Ooh.
I mean, I know they're there, but come
Yeah.
on. Internal combustion was like, what up, steam engine? And then that was it. That was the end.
And steam engines were really dangerous. Apparently, they exploded and killed people
Why would you
a
want
lot.
that? It dates back to the 1st century AD. I thought that was pretty interesting. Very simple idea of one. But yeah, that's that. I know we're running short on time, so I don't
Yeah.
want to give you too much info. Maybe
We
could
got
do an
a couple
episode
minutes.
on
We
that,
got
too.
a couple minutes. We
All
got
right.
about 8 minutes,
We
6
still have
minutes.
8 minutes? I
Well,
don't think you're correct.
somewhere in that
Anyways,
neighborhood.
Go ahead.
Uh,
Number 3 for Luke.
PDAs. I remember having my BlackBerry and my compact
PDA, public display of
person,
affection?
personal digital assistant. So basically,
Personal, digital.
before the
assist.
iPhone, you would
Oh,
have
yeah, with
you
those,
would have
those
your
pokey sticks.
Yeah, the pokey sticks. And Compaq, I think, made one, and I think Apple had one before the iPhone.
You really feel like that was something people thought, man, this is going to be here forever and never go away.
I had 3 of them. I kept
Why
getting a
did
new
you
one.
need 3 of them?
Because before you had smartphones with calendars and appointments, you could sync these PDAs to your email. So basically, it was an iPhone without cell service and without. I mean, but your whole calendar would be in there, and your appointments and your contacts. I thought there was no chance this was going away, and then iPhones came out and destroyed
All
PDAs.
right. They did. Yeah.
They did.
iPhone really changed a lot.
Yeah,
what
they
an
did.
amazing invention. Amazing invention.
That's all right.
There we go. Number 2 for you, because you have number 2 and 1 left.
How do I
believe.
have number 2 and 1?
Because you stole my number 1 with your number 10.
Oh, okay. Payphones.
Payphones is a good one.
Yeah, so I haven't seen a payphone. There's this camp that I go to once a year, and there's a payphone on the outside of the building, and I'm there with all these teenage kids for this retreat. And when they see this payphone, I cook for them. I'm the chef for the weekend.
I know.
And when they see this payphone, they are astonished. Like, what do you mean? I put quarters in,
Money?
and then I hold this funny shaped
would I do
thing, and
that?
I hit buttons. They're astonished. The only one I've seen in probably, I don't know, 5-6 years, something like that.
So I have a couple of reasons that I'm not sure they're obsolete.
Okay.
1, where would superheroes change? 2, I think Doctor Who travels around in one of those things.
One of the red ones from the
Yeah.
UK,
I've
right?
never actually watched Doctor Who. I just think that's
Okay.
what they do. So maybe not that obsolete.
Okay.
What do you think? Still not
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
When was the last time? Have you ever used one that you can remember?
I remember I remember prank calling people on them back in middle school. So that's probably the last time I've used one.
Okay. And it's probably same time frame for me, like in the early 90s was the last time I think I used one.
Fair enough. My number 1 I did was printed media. My number 2 though is landlines. So sort of the same thing. I'm kind of shocked you even have a house phone. I feel like the only reason people have them is because Verizon's like, okay, we're gonna bundle your cable, your internet, and give you a phone too. And you're like, fine.
My wife and I have an amazing marriage, but we have one bone of contention between the two of us.
Whoa.
She refuses to get rid of The landline.
that nobody uses.
She's never answered it. She's never made a call on it. The whole entire time we've been
Is
married.
it like in case of emergencies?
Yeah,
or...
yeah, but in case of an emergency, if you lose power, the phones don't work. You have to have one of those old school ones that plug in directly. So yeah, that's the one issue her and I have actually had arguments about.
Yeah.
Other than that, our marriage is idyllic.
I've always thought that about your marriage. Fun facts about the landlines. In 2003, there were approximately 1.26 billion worldwide.
Okay.
And now, even though the population is increasing, in 2013 there were only 1.16 billion. So I mean, it's only a drop of 100 million. But if you think about it, you know, there's more households.
Yeah.
And probably most of these are just like being held on to by, you know, older families.
Or they don't even
that
charge you too. Like for us, we get cable. Oh, we don't do cable. We do internet and phone, and it literally is like zero additional cost.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So what's your number one?
My number one is, and this is, I had it in honorable mention whenever I first did this, but the more and more I think about it, this is Snackwell cookies.
Snackwell cookies?
I don't know if it's an invention or not, but remember Snackwell?
I do.
It was basically the cookie that everybody who wanted to stuff their faces, and this might not be my number one. It's just I don't have a better one on my list.
Okay.
But everybody was in this fat-free, you know, you gotta eat healthy. So what do? You invent a cookie that you call Snackwell that literally is loaded with
all... Are they out of business?
I'm fairly certain, if not, they're not doing well, I would guess, because I haven't seen a Snackwell cookie in about 15 years. But I remember stuffing my face with Snackwell cookies. It was like, it's health food. You know, I can eat a whole sleeve. But little did we know it was filled with all kinds of artificial sweeteners and ingredients, and
I like it.
Probably way better.
Carcinogens.
And to add to that, I probably throw in like the whole low sugar or like the fake sugar, like food in general. We had this major swing where fat was bad, eggs are bad, milk is bad, cheese is bad, you know, sugar's bad, and it's like, oh no, actually eggs are good for you. Sugar's
They
better
always go back and forth.
Sugar's
on eggs.
better than Splenda, and you know, sugar's better than all those other artificial sweeteners. So you're actually better off eating the stuff 15 years ago they said was bad. So I think food in general, I think there's been a big shift where, I don't know.
Okay.
I think a lot of technologies in these sweeteners.
I had a few honorable mentions that
Shoot.
I'd like to throw out there. The MP3 player.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like a storage device, though. But man, that was awesome, and then gone really fast.
I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and at the very
Okay.
end, he gives him, not to ruin it if you haven't seen it,
haven't, but
he
go
gives
ahead.
him a Zune.
A Zune,
The
yeah.
Microsoft Zune. He's like, this is what everybody on Earth is listening to. It holds like 400 songs or something like that, meanwhile. So.
That's funny. I also have old light bulbs.
Yeah,
Like, so
you know what? I had incandescent. I totally. That
incandescent
should have
light
been before
bulbs, yeah.
Snackwells.
We actually have a whole episode on light bulbs. Go check that one out.
How's that honorable mention? You don't think that's?
It could be up there.
It
Let's
has
put
to
it
be.
on the
It has
list.
to be up
And
there.
then the last one I have is dial-up modems. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, the internets was amazing, and that
Yeah.
sweet noise was great. And then, well, you don't need that anymore, and you actually have fast internet.
Yeah,
So I thought that was a pretty good one,
I like
too.
that one.
All right, do you want to order these?
Yeah.
So I think the light bulb has to make it, now that I
Yep.
mentioned it. Cameras definitely
Yes.
is on the list. So there's 2. Let's see. What do you think?
Physical media.
Physical media. 3. What else? Oh, I have camera listed twice. How about the steam engine?
Yeah, that's a big one.
4.
Because it was there for so long. Number 5, I'd have to say, is going to be maps. It was such a maps
agree.
and all mapping technology. So like Google printouts and.
Maps and landlines, I think, both make the
Yep,
list.
I agree.
And so we need 4 more. How about typewriters?
Yep,
I mean, they were
typewriters,
great.
printed media,
Printed media.
and watches.
Watches. I think that's only 9. We need 1 more.
I'm going to go with mail. I think
Mail.
Yeah.
Even though it still makes a fortune, it's not what it used to
I
be.
think it's at the bottom of the list. It's definitely because it'll be around for a little bit longer. So.
All right, so we're going with the incandescent light bulb, landlines, steam engine, maps, camera, mail, physical media, typewriter, watches, and printed media, because reading is stupid.
Yes, and because we're out of time, in our description, we'll do what we think these are in order.
Sounds good.
All righty.
right, until next time.
Thanks, everybody. See you.